Our sponsors: the Finkley Experience, an educational consulting firm that specializes in first-generation education, in which prepares high school students for college. For more information, visit their website at thefinkleyexperience.com. Father to Father Incorporated, a nonprofit organization that strengthens families through father engagement, with a goal to help men in our communities to be great dads. For more information, visit their website, fathertofatherinc.org. ABLAZE Entertainment. The goal of ABLAZE is to take emerging artists and develop them to the next level of their career. For more information, visit their website at ablazeentertainment.net. Thank you. Hey, did you get your merch yet? Your Michael Finkley merch. Visit our website, michaelfinkley.com, and click Finkley Store. You won't be disappointed, I'm telling you. That's good.
Hey guys, it's your girl Rama Montakabi, aka Peaches, on the hit show BMF on Stars, and you are watching The Michael Finkley Show.
For the season finale of The Michael Finkley Show, clinical psychologist, actress, model, talk show host, Dr. Meleeka Clary is with us. She chats with us why mental health is so important in 2023, future plans, and so much more. It's a discussion you don't want to miss, Fink Fam. Next, Finkley.
There's a new familiar face this time. Say hello to the new daytime. See it everywhere you go. New and the greatest show. It's no other than the Michael Finkley Show. There is no other. He's like no other. I'm so glad that tonight resonates with me. Come celebrate with me. It's time to
Welcome back to The Michael Finkley Show. Now, y'all, my next guest, y'all, just said this. I'm going to say it again. She is the definition of you can definitely do it and have it all, right? Definitely. She is a director. She's an actress. She's a writer. She's a clinical social psychologist. There we go. Psychologist as well. Dr. Meleeka Clary. How are you?
Hi, how you doing? Thank you for that wonderful introduction.
You're very, very welcome. Like when we were introduced and I looked you up, I'm like, oh my gosh, like you're doing this and this and this and this. And I must say that as I was looking at your pictures and I was able to, you have a show as well. I was watching your show and I'm like, she reminds me of Angela Bassett. Do you get
Yes,
that a lot?
all the time. I've actually worked with her husband too on it was what was it Aretha Franklin series. Yes, so we worked together and we took pictures together. He said he's gonna show his wife because everybody keeps saying I look like Angela Bassett. Yeah.
Yeah, it's here.
Yeah.
It's here. Like you look like you can burn someone's car down for real.
For real.
For real. Like you're ready. Just don't cut your hair. Don't cut your hair. We love it. We love it. But we are so appreciative of having you for these few moments on the show. Just again, amazing background, amazing resume. Again, doing it all, wanting it all, helping others in the process as well. So I must ask, when you were growing up, right? What made you want to, go into a life of service? Because that's what we do here on this time on earth. We serve others.
Yes. What's interesting is that, you really don't know what you want to do when you're younger. But I don't like bullying. And one thing I can't stand is people bullying. I did get bullied because I used to wear these very thick glasses. They used to call them bifocals. And and I had these little ponytails that were like, well, they describe it as gnat balls. That's what I hear, little gnat balls. And I didn't like that. But people used to bully me. But when I saw people do that to other people, I kind of wanted to stand up for them. And I watched this girl, she was cross-eyed. And I was like, okay, they're actually messing with her because she's cross-eyed. That's a disability for her. And she was very timid. So I noticed when I started sticking up for her, I started thinking about helping other people. I know I could take it. I felt like I had thicker skin to take the bullying, but she couldn't. And I think at that time in my life, I started wanting to serve other people. And it just took off after that, helping other people, if it was counseling or anything like that, or mentoring or helping anybody who needs some type of help. But I believe it started with that.
It's amazing how our childhood can bring our focus right on as we continue to grow and develop. It's like, oh my gosh, this happened to me. Now I want to prevent that from happening to others. And that's what you do within that profession of being a psychologist as well. So the mental of persons, especially since COVID, right? I feel that we're all woke now, right, of being mentally aware of ourselves and people around us. But why is that still important going forward beyond 2023?
Well, one, you should always want to take care of your mental health. I mean, that's just taking care of you mentally and physically. And it's always important. It's not like, for example, this month is mental health awareness month, right? Well, awareness month, it's mental health awareness every day. It's not just a month. And don't get me wrong, I'm glad people are aware of it this month and we're parading it, but every day you wake up and you don't know what challenges you're handling that day. See, when COVID started, many people did not know how to react, and we wanted someone to blame, which is really interesting to me because the people that was trying to find a solution are human beings as well. So how do we do things? How do we try to overcome situations that's out of our control? Patience. We need to have some patience. I know it's hard, but we're human. That's probably what it is. We can't just snap it and say, hey, fix this problem. You have humans trying to fix a problem they've never seen before, never experienced. And I'm almost 50. I've never seen nothing like this. I mean, it's in the Bible, a plague, but really, it just was like, whoa. I mean, you're talking about shut down. Everybody had to go on like a semi probation. I mean, really, we have curfews. I mean, this is United States. What is going on? So patience is what we need to have because there's more to come of anything that could happen. This is not a world that we can control. We're just living in it. So every day we have to take it by one day at a time and try to deal with it with patience and understanding and love each other or just care about each other.
That's I feel that's when we care, when we're aware, right? We can save a life, we can heal a situation, right? I go back to Twitch, right? And how he to the world, he was, happy, family, career, things going well for him. But on the inside, there was a different story. So when you see things like that, right, what are some of the conversations or even solutions? No, I guess, to kind of prevent those things from happening.
You know what? It's interesting that you state that because I actually don't like the fact that what happened to Twitch and that right there tells me that there's a lack of communication within the home. And unfortunately, I don't know what he was. I don't know him. I just know what he displayed. I'm not even sure what he identified himself as. See, that's one thing about when you think about what a person shows you. But when they close doors, you don't know. You don't know what was going on. And so I really don't know the story, but what I can say, there was a lack of communication because if you have your spouse saying, I just don't have no clue what was going on, then you have to start from the home that there was a disconnect. And you don't need to share your story for me to know there was a disconnect if something was going on. And if something was going on that you was aware of and didn't try to help him get help, then it was something either one might have been ashamed and didn't want to get therapy. You just don't know. And to be honest with you, that's not being displayed. I don't like the fact when I hear suicide. I do not like the fact, and then, and I have to be honest on this part. One thing I've never really saw in color, and not that it matters if you're black or white, but it really hasn't been a lot of color committing suicide, at least the findings of the statistics. And don't get me wrong, it's still wrong to do it. But now what I'm trying to explain is that it doesn't matter what color you are. Suicide, mental health, illness, it exists. And it doesn't matter what shade you are, it doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter what status you hold, it doesn't matter what prefix you have on your name, it doesn't matter what title you live by. You are a human being, and you are not going to be, you're not gonna be, I want to say you're still counted for the trials and tribulations that this life welcomes. So that is something you're still going to have to go through, no matter how you look at it. So I have to say there's no perfect individual here, but you will have to go through something, and it really doesn't matter who you are. So what I want to do and what I like to do is have people express themselves. On my show, I do that. The Dr. Meleeka Clary show. And it doesn't matter. Like I said, on my show, it's about positive psychology. And who are you? Who do you identify yourself as? And Twitch is one of the reasons I actually utilize who do you identify yourself, because I didn't know that man, but I do know that there was something wrong. And for him to do what he did, there was something wrong and he wasn't happy.
I love the question of identification, and I've never heard that before. Like, how do you identify? Can you dive a little bit deeper into what that actually means? How you identify?
How do you identify yourself? See, even being an actress, and I'm a psychologist, even being a model or a writer or a director or a manager or a college professor, I still identify myself as a God's child, a mother. This is everything else falls in place is what I like to do. But my identification is I'm God's child first. I'm a mother. I love to take care of my children. If everything else could sit down, that's who I am first. I take care of my children. That's my identification for myself. But I am a human being. I'm a woman, but I'm a human being. So that means I got to take care of myself as well. You have other people that may not identify themselves as that. They could identify themselves as, well, I am an actor, I am an actress, or I am, what people think I am. Or they may display themselves as something else. Or maybe they don't even see themselves as an actor or actress. Or maybe they don't even think that they're that good of a person. You see, that's what's really interesting about that, because some people do things because they love it. Some people do it because, well, my dad did it, and his dad did it, and his dad did it. So I want to do it. So that's why. But I really don't have identification of myself, because I really don't know what I'm about. I mean, I really never really pursued anything that was really what I wanted to do. So when you get into those conversations with those individuals, you start to ask them, who do you identify yourself? And many people have different reasonings. Some people say, well, I'm here to help my mother. I mean, it's not, I'm not important. It's her needs is more important than mine. That's how I identify as a helper. So you really just don't know until you actually speak to someone and ask them, because believe it or not, there's a lot of different answers to that question.
I feel there are different answers, but there are evolving answers, right? As we continue to learn more about who we are, because we change every day. We change our thinking, we change our actions. We go with the trends or what have you. So I feel it's a forever title change. But I feel what you're saying as well is the real natural me, like the raw me. This is me, and yeah, it's not changing, baby, because it's me, right?
That's right. And you are displaying, this is who I am. But no one actually knows that if you're a lawyer or you're a doctor or you're a server or you're a nurse or you're a celebrity. Who are you? And I've seen numerous of people, and some people just don't have the identification for themselves. And I always hear that. That's an interesting question. Who am I? Who are you living
That
for?
this is why you are the doctor right here. This is why. This is why. Because again, reflection is always needed in order for us to improve for ourselves. And it's for self, right? If I can be the best me possible, that means I can be the best whatever for that other individual that comes my way.
There you go.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Whoa. I am going there. But not only Think Fam, she is good at what she does in this field of assisting others, but you're in entertainment as well. So, first of all, how, why, what? How did we get from here to here?
Well, I have to give credit to way, way, way back then. It was well, I was a cheerleader back in my adolescent days, middle school, and the cheerleader coach. He actually wore so many different hats, and she was the director for the theater as well, the flute play, theater chorus and stuff like they call that, the art. And she asked me if I wanted to be in the play. And I was like, I don't know, how did she get cheerleading into arts? Like, I didn't understand the connection at the time. And I was like 13 years old. And she said, would you like to play a part? And I said, okay, like, what? What part? Harriet Tubman. Harriet Tubman of all. So I'm sitting here like, wait a minute, this is serious. What do you see out of me as being a cheerleader? But you know what? I was enthused. I felt like, okay, if I can do it, what do you got to do? So she gave me the lines. I read them, and to be honest with you, I loved it. And I guess right there she was blown away. And besides, the whole school was blown away too because they were there at the play. And I think right there, that's how it opened the door for me to get into the entertainment industry. And then as I got older, I started liking it and doing modeling and acting and some other gigs I would get into. But I didn't go as far as now. Within the last 6 years, I did leave the industry for at least about 16 years before 2016. And I loved it. It's a natural. But I left because one thing about me, I do what I want to do. I don't do what people want me to do. There's a difference. And
Major difference.
they
Major difference.
huge, huge difference. If I want to, it's a different thing. But what I didn't like in the invitation as being a woman, and it could be woman, male, I'm just talking for me because I am a woman. And I didn't like the sexual invitations I was getting. And even if it was on set or if it was photographers or if it was modeling gigs or fashion shows, it was something that kept coming. And I didn't like the industry because of that. Now, as I got older, I realized if the people was the problem at that time. It wasn't what I was doing, but what they were in. It was like bad people doing bad things that make you not like the industry. And that time I said, if I have to do all this and sell my soul just to get a little materialistic or get a little fame, I can't do this. This is not for me. It's not for me. So I ended up leaving the industry for, I want to say, like I said, about 16 years. But see, one thing about it, I loved it still. I mean, it was a natural. I'm very creative. I always taught, like if I taught lessons and because I was a college professor for 15 years, and I will always implement like acting gigs. And when I say acting roles, like some of my students would talk about domestic violence. I said, well, ooh, why don't you do it like a play or something? Act like the victim and this person act like the intruder and, do a video, go ahead, get creative. So they would love it. I mean, my class was always filled, but they loved it. But see, one thing they always ask, they always say, you should have been an actress, but they never knew. Well, my background, they never knew. But I love that creativity. But when I went back in it, it was only because of something that happened in my personal life. I went back into it because my voice wasn't being heard of what I believe in. I'm a human rights activist, so I have rights as a person, and everyone who's a human being have rights. You have civil rights and you have constitutional rights. and I wasn't pleased with what was happening to me, and I felt voiceless. And the only way I knew that I would become a little powerful is I'd share my story with people and what I've been through and what was happening to me from this judicial side. And that's how I end up going back. I actually opened up my mouth, and then certain things started happening that was welcome me coming back to the industry. And a friend of mine said, "Hey, why don't you go and you do these YouTube videos and all this other stuff." And he said, "Why don't you go and see if you go audition for some gigs?" And I did in New York. I went to New York and got some, something that I was used to because I was from Boston and I used to drive to New York and do auditions. So I just decided, hey, let me just go and go back to what I started, like, what I stopped, and see if I can, get my groove back or something like that, right? That's that Stella move, right? Let me get my Stella move on.
Were you in that movie?
So I tried to do that, and I did. I figured, let me try to get my step back. You know what I mean? And I actually, I did. I got a bunch of little gigs, and I was like, you know what? Hey, this is not bad. I got my confidence back and said, hey, let me go ahead but I still felt like I still wanted to have more power. So that's why I ended up doing my own movie too.
Gotcha. Wow. Like I told you, Fink fam, like she's doing it all. She wants it all. She's doing it all. So it's fantastic seeing an example of someone not limiting themselves, right?
Yeah.
Or quitting one thing to pursue one thing, right?
Yeah.
That's why a lot of people go to Atlanta or California. It's like, I'm going to quit this and
Yeah.
I'm going to pursue this, but you can do that while you're still doing this, right? You can literally do it and have it all. What keeps you going? You have a lot on your plate. You have a lot I know that you still want to do in your ladder, but what keeps you going? What keeps Doc motivated to say, I'm going to continue?
I hear it's a narrow way and few.
Hi, I'm Alma. Hi, and I'm Raquel, and we are the Fisher Girls, and you're watching the Michael Finkley Show.
To be in your glory, to stand in your glory.
Hello everybody, it's Finkley from the Finkley Experience. We're an educational consulting firm that specializes in first-generation education. So we assist students with their college and career endeavors. We train school administrators on the state of first-generation students. And also, we partner with colleges and universities to assist their first-generation population for easy transition from high school to college. So if you're looking for a presenter or speaker that presents on these topics and so much more, visit our website at thefinkleyexperience.com and learn about all that we do. We're looking forward to working with you. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Welcome to Father to Father.
The mission of Father to Father Charleston, South Carolina is to help fathers in the Low Country area of South Carolina to be a positive and consistent presence in their children's lives. Father to Father provides community-based programs and support groups for fathers free of charge. They also help fathers connect to other resources they need so they can meet their responsibilities and secure their parental rights. Father to Father offers job coaching and employment connections that benefit fathers. Father to Father is a resource for local organizations that want to provide family support and father-friendly services. If this program is a fit for you, visit our location in North Charleston, South Carolina, and meet our friendly staff here to help and assist. Or visit our website at fathertofatherinc.org. What keeps you going? You have a lot on your plate. You have a lot I know that you still want to do in your ladder, but what keeps you going? What keeps Doc motivated to say, I'm going to continue?
God, I'm spiritual. And when I say that I'm not perfect, I believe in God. I believe in Jesus and the Holy Christ. I believe in the Holy Spirit, one. I mean, yes, I believe in it. And you know what I mean? And it's not something I just woke up today and decided I believe in it. I started this way before. When I needed him, he showed. If they say he's not on time, but he's been in my life on time at least 3 or 4 occasions. and I mean quickly. So I have to say that I'm a true believer in that. But I know I'm not perfect. I'm still working in progress because I'm not Jesus. I'm not perfect. I'm human error. But one thing I do say, and I pray, literally, I pray, and it doesn't matter. I can be standing here doing me a little prayer. I can get on the knees. I do whatever I feel like, but I have to do it with him in it. If I'm getting back into this industry, I got to do it with him in it. When I did it before, I was still, like, okay, well, maybe I'll dabble here, maybe I'll dabble here, try, but maturity, I still had to grow. You know what I mean? My faith and my relationship wasn't as strong as I wanted to be. It was still at a young age, I still was a believer. But like I said, you walk, you go through it's like a yellow brick road. You walk, hey, this road seems really, let me take this one. I'll come back. And that's me. You know what I mean? You go take this road, but you already know you want to get to the whiz, and you know what I mean? But I didn't do it always that way. I had to go right, and then eventually I go back. And that's how I live my life. I live my life believing in God and asking for direction. When he gets me up in the morning, I ask him to help me get through the day. Whatever that day I set myself for, then I'm asking him to help me facilitate that. And if it's helped me be a better parent, a better person, a better communicator, a better educator, a better motivator, a better public figure, a better something, whatever that is, I'm asking him for the help because I can't do it without him. Not this time around. I need guidance because all this in this world, you got negative, me joy, not happiness because it doesn't last long. Joy lasts longer. And I only could rely on what God could do for me. So, and that's what keeps me going. It's not anything else but that.
Love it. Joy, joy,
Yeah.
joy, joy. And I want to add something to that: peace.
Oh,
Peace. Peace is
peace.
something that you cannot pay for,
Nope.
right? It's an experience. And when
That's
you
it.
get it, listen, you
Mm.
won't want anything else to interrupt it.
No, you don't. But you have to deal with. You have to deal with life so you can hold on to peace. And sometimes that may be you being by yourself first, so you can get to know who you are. That's what's going on here. A lot of people are moving and shaking and running, but they're not getting to know themselves so they can welcome that peace. That's a problem. We want people to provide us peace, but you gotta welcome it and get to know yourself so you know what your peace is. Because that other individual can't give you that peace. You want it from them, but they can't give it to you. You gotta get your own peace.
So I'm gonna add another title, minister. Yeah. Yeah.
I've heard it all. But I was a college professor for 15 years and you have to teach. But I did hear a lot from my students, but you know what? It's just what I feel and I try to explain it. I'm not perfect, far from it, but I'm just going by experiences and stuff that I tried to find. As a psychologist, I had my experiences. You try certain things, so you're a living testimony towards it. So you just try to explain it so you can help someone else understand it. That's all.
I love that. Going back to us and then bringing outward for others, right?
Yeah,
Us and out. I love
exactly.
that. So, what's next? You've done so much. I know that you're still doing. So, what is next? And what are some of the things that you're working on now?
Well, right now, the movie Three Corners of Deception came out in selective theaters because it came out 2021 during COVID. So we didn't want it to come out publicly, but we are working with streaming networks right now. And, disclose those at the moment because we're still working with that. But we do plan to let it out publicly, streaming networks on 2023. Three Corners of Deception. You check it out. The trailer is out there. It's been out there, but we're getting geared up. We're getting ready. Many people want it, but you know what? It has been doing well in the film festival circuit. I have won over 74 recognitions. Yes, yes. This movie, Three Coins Deception, very first film I ever made, a feature film, independent, never did this before, never directed before. I have to say kudos to God because I didn't even think I had that in me. Yes, I have to say because he gave me the ability to, and it's based on true events. It's a passion movie. It's something that, freed me mentally because it's something I was going through. But there's no way whatever I was going through in a 10-year span, you could put it in a movie. 2 hours and 19 minutes, but I tried to put it all in there. Just didn't work. But I sure tried, though. I tried. I did. I tried. I really did. But you know what? It's good enough, and it helped me mentally to allow people to understand my story. And I'm working on that. And, I just finished the script, The Boston Girls, but we're not filming yet. We want to release this first. But The Boston Girls, also true events, just something that originates with me, period, because, when you write something, you always have to have a little bit of you in it. And I have to say that movie, The Boston Girls, will be filmed in Boston, where I'm from. So yes, exactly. Whenever I do, everyone will hear. But I have been working on that as well.
I love it. I love it. And again, just staying active, keeping that drive going, and it's so inspirational and so encouraging. You're living in your dream. And this is what my show is about, right? Those individuals that, they have incredible stories, but they're still pursuing what they want to pursue. It could be anything across the board. So I must say, what is your next biggest dream?
To be honest with you, I think I'm living in my dream. I have to say I am. Every day I get a chance to get up, I'm living a dream. I mean, I get another day to try to complete something I want to do. I get closer and closer. I'm enjoying the process. I've completed a lot of things in my life. I'm still going. So I have to say I'm not done. I just don't know. I mean, right now I'm enjoying the ride. So I don't, I really just, I want to help other people. I want to keep on doing that. One person said, if I could save one person, you know, uh, person is like a million people. And I say that because it's hard to change another person. Okay. It's very hard to even contribute to changing another person. But if I do that to one person, I completed a lot of my goals right there. But of course, I have a lot on my plate, so I'm trying to do a lot for a lot of people. And that's just something I would love to do. Like my experiences try to help. And that's where the Dr. Meleeka Clary show on the Golden Braid TV network comes in play because that's all about positive psychology. People, I interview all types of people. It doesn't matter where you're from, who you are, as long as you're a human being and you have a challenge that you've been through and experiences and testimonies. And we talk about their challenges and how they went through it and how they're still coping with things. And I think those stories alone and sharing with other people is something that I just love. And I want to keep on doing that. And I'm pro bono in that area. So it really doesn't, I don't get any money for it. And no, saving a life is what I feel. God will take care of me. And I feel that way. And people look at me and say, okay, but my faith is strong in that area. It will come later. You know what? But if that person decides to stay another day, just another day because they know, because Dr. Meleeka Clary said, it's going to get better. I promise you. Just stay one more day. It's going to get better. It eases every day. No matter what you go through, it eases every day. Just stay another day. Play a little while. Play a little while. All I want.
That's God's work. That is God's work. Well said. How can the Think fam follow you on social media? And also, please give us the details of your different projects as well once more so we can keep a lookout.
Yes. Oh, everyone, they can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Google me. I'm all on Google. And I have a website, drmeleekaclary.com, and all the links is on there. If you just Google drmeleekaclary.com, all the links is right there. And I also have a public group. It's a little forum. I think it may be about 750 people. It was just started not, month ago, couple months ago, maybe. So if you people would want to sign up to that, be a member to the group, I provide positive psychology. I'm always giving, because people always sending me messages. And I love that because I mean, seriously, I have to say I really love it because 2 o'clock in the morning, 1 o'clock in the morning when I should be sleeping, I'm sending messages like, so when people get up in the morning, the first thing they should look at, if they're going to pick up their phone, give it another day, believe in yourself, keep the negative away. You know what I mean? And that's what I love sending. So I urge to give somebody something that they can read in the morning so they can feel like, okay, that's all right. I'm all right with that. I like that. Let's keep moving today and let's see what the day is going to bring. So I work hard to do that. So people can find me. Just Google me. I'm all over there.
All right. And we're definitely going to Google Dr. Meleeka Clary. Thank you so much
Thank you.
for being with us and being who you are as an individual, living out your dreams, because I tell you, you've done a lot, but you haven't seen anything yet. So keep going.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you so much for having me as your guest. I appreciate you.
You're so welcome. Think that. Don't go away. Back home. Hey Fink fam, it's Michael Finkley here, and you can watch the Michael Finkley Show every Monday on YouTube. Don't you dare forget to subscribe.
What's going on, everybody? This is Jamar Langley from the great city of Andrews, South Carolina, and you may have seen me on season 23 of The Voice Top 15, baby, and you are watching the Michael Finkley Show.
What's up, y'all? I love y'all, man. I love y'all, and I really love being able to come on here and speak to y'all about what I know, give y'all some of my wisdom. And so I just want to say I appreciate y'all for really listening to me, those who really take on what I say. But for further notice, I must come to you with this one. Bruh, just do the work. Do the work, bro. And it's hard. Doing the work is hard. Trust me, I know. Doing the work is very hard. And sometimes it gets boring. Sometimes, you may not feel like it. Sometimes you may feel like you missing out on life. Because I done been to the point where, I'm still young. And I have had moments to where it seemed like I was missing out on life. It seemed like I was missing out on a lot of things. But I have to yet always remind myself, what you going after in life, what you want in life, man, it ain't going to be nothing more funner than that when you achieve that, but it takes you working right now. And all of us have probably been in that state to where, man, we feel like, man, these people having fun, they doing this. It looked like fun from the outside, but those people are really hurting on the inside. And so for us who really doing the work and who's out here grinding and who's trying to achieve and build something, you have to always remind yourself that it's a bigger picture. It's a bigger purpose in this. And when you chasing purpose, pleasure will never be able to equal to the amount of happiness you get when you chase your purpose. So remember that purpose will always be above pleasure. Purpose will always be above pleasure. And so when you really chasing your purpose, remind yourself often that this is a bigger picture. And remind yourself of your why I started this and why I keep doing this and why I need to achieve this, because it's always something bigger than you. And when you remember and when you remind yourself that this is bigger than me, then this will allow you to not really feel like that no more. Feel like I'm losing something, because you're not losing out on anything. You're actually gaining more, and you're going to get more. But see, we too often worry about the beginning. We too often worry about how we starting and how it look from the outside looking in, and how everybody else perceive us, and how, it may not look good right now, but I promise you, if you just keep working and keep going, it'll look good later on down the line. And once it look good, it's going to stay good. It's going to stay good. See, those who look good right now in the beginning, when it's very fast, it never stay good. So you want to build something that's going to be sustainable. You want to build something that's going to be here for 20, 30 generations. You feel me? You want that. Because like I said, when you build it up and when you consistently put the grind in, and once it get here, it's going to stay here. Remember that.
Hi, I'm Patrick Fawcett. You might know me as Tony Watson from Tyler Perry's The Haves and the Have-Nots. And you are watching The Michael Finkley Show.
CTR Media Network is now accepting new podcasters to join our growing network that's reaching 350 million global listeners. Have you heard? CTR Media Network offers podcast production, podcast training, distribution, and product placement. Book us for your next event or schedule an interview with CTR Media Network podcasters today. To learn more, go to ctrmedianetwork.com.
This is your Louisiana girl, Denise Boutte, coming at you on the Michael Finkley Show. And you guys may know me from Why Did I Get Married as the really sweet girl, Trina, or maybe Meet the Browns as Sasha. But I'm coming at you guys from the great state of California, but originally from Louisiana, because you know I can't lose that Southern girl, baby. All right, you guys stay tuned to Michael Finkley.